Hi, it's just on the case. As you guys know, the storm did hit North Carolina, which is where I am from. I am a Southern Belle. And I think, New Bern was the worst. Wilmington was the worst. And the storm died down after destroying those places and destroying people's homes. So we're praying for them first and foremost. And all the people around the world who have been messed up from the storm. But first thing I want to start talking about is a little boy named Adrian, whose parents let him down. And I always say, if you feel like you're having problems or having issues with your kid, I'm not perfect. I don't have $1,000,000 or anything like that in the bank. I'm a normal person and I have a job. I work like anybody else. But the thing is, if you're having problems at home and you feel like that you have no one to turn to and you feel like everything around you is closing in on you, you need to seek help. Sometimes with people that it's a pride issue. It's well, I don't need help, I'm fine, I'm okay, things are better. But if you have an issue that you think that you can control and you really can't, but you don't know that, but you see yourself getting angry, you see yourself not being yourself, and you see yourself taking it out on your kids, you need to get help, because the last thing you want to do is do something harmful to your kids and then have to go to prison or jail and think about these things that you did when you could have got help. I say all this because I say this. We talk about Kanika Jenkins, we talk about all the children and everybody who's died, and that's normally and mainly what my channel is about. If you really want to be, if we're being serious and we're being real, it's mainly about the dead. Now, Adrian was like 7 or 8 years old. He had no reason to die at that young age. At about those ages, all the way to 18, you are supposed to have someone to protect you, to make sure that you become the person that you're supposed to be, to make sure you're out of harm's way. Instead, these people decided, as his parents, that they're going to make his life a living hell. Imagine you having a kid, and imagine you taking your kid through living hell situations. And when I say living hell, I have no other way to put this. I mean, you're leaving your kid outside in the cold. You know it's cold. You know your kid is thin and small. It has nothing to do with that either, though. Being a kid, period. It's already hard enough to try to figure out who you are. And then everyone tell you what to do. Then you have to deal with abuse from your own parents. You have to deal with someone putting you out in the cold, someone making you raise your hands up and stand there the whole night and all day long while they go eat and do whatever else they want to do. What kid deserves that? What kid did that much to deserve abuse like that? What kid deserves beatings in the head and beating all over his arms and not getting fed and too thin? What kid deserves that? No kid deserves that. All kids deserve to be treated properly. That is what makes the country, the world. So we're complaining about, oh, there's a killer on the loose. Oh, this person is a psycho. Well, let's go back and let's think about where this person came from. Let's honestly look back and figure out where this person came from. Most of the time when you go back into people's lives that have been having issues, you come to find out that they were having issues way before they were an adult. And it comes from parents. As parents, we don't know we can do something in a blink of an eye, in a moment's time. And we can change our own kid's life. But we don't know that, but we should as parents. You were young before. Someone had to someone had to mold you. Someone had to make it where you become who you're supposed to be. And you're supposed to pass that down. But people are passing down the wrong things to kids and wondering why kids are getting older and doing crazy things. It is on how the kid is raised. And unfortunately, some of these kids parents are so bad at what they do, the kid ends up not even being able to survive the ordeal and dying before their time. And that's what happened to Adrian. Then his parents decided to get rid of his body. They were going to put him in a live pig stop and let them just pick and eat and chew at him. And then pretend like they don't know what's going on. However, they confided in someone and was asked that person to, get pictures out of her iCloud so that she can put pictures up of her son. And the lady found abused pictures where inside of the home they were taking cameras and putting them all over the house and just watching this little boy like he was an animal. And then one video, which really, really got to my heart, they put him outside and then asked him why he's eating out of the trash can. And his excuse was, because every time I come out here, it's very cold. And you know what his mom said? His mom was like, really? That's your excuse? Honey, you have a 7-year-old boy outside eating out of a garbage can and having to lie to you because he has to eat out of the garbage can and he knows that you're going to do something to him. So he tries to find a good lie for what he's doing. And I'm pretty sure after that, something happened to him for that. But look how, if you go back and look at Adrian's story, look how thin he was. He was trying to survive. I hate people who don't want their kids and decide they're going to do something terrible to them instead of giving it to somebody who will care and love for them. I hate that. I can't stand that. There's no excuse for that. There are so many programs for parents who've having issues with stuff or needs adoption, or you don't have to kill a kid. There's no excuse for that. No excuse. And I'm sorry, but there's another kid that I would like to talk about. But Adrian's story is new. Kaylee's is not. Now, how her mother, I don't know, how her mother got off. Honestly, I don't even want to know. I just know Kaylee never got justice, and what I'm looking at, she never will. The law has to change the rules, and they have to do it now, which I know they're not. The problem with America and with countries surrounding America and this whole world is people feel like they can do what they want to do, and then they can cover it up and get away with it, and that's just not acceptable. It might be acceptable to you, but it's not acceptable to me. I am getting tired of hearing about little kids dying, their parents getting off, or their parents are on the news and they're in court smiling. Like, it's funny. That is your bloodline that you just sabotaged for no reason. If you have an anger problem, take anger management classes. If you have a problem with raising kids, go seek adoption. Talk to their grandparents. Find someone while you're going through what you're going through to get help. It's that simple. And the reason why this story is so important to me is because I have a 10-year-old son that looks up to me and looks up to his dad and looks up to his aunts and uncles and cousins and grandma and grandparents to make sure that he's happy, make sure he's well fed. And people, they don't like me. Some of the family members can't stand me. You know what? I don't give a damn. Because you know what? Something happens with my kid, and he tells me something, you damn right, I'm going to investigate. And it might not come out to be anything, but I'm going to make sure it comes out to be nothing. And that's another thing my kid has a problem with me with. My kid has a problem with me if somebody calls him a name. It could be a family member. It could be anybody. And he tells me he knows mommy is going to go berserk and she's not going to listen to me and she's going to go and she's going to fuss these people out. So we had to have a conversation about, okay, people are going to say things that you like. People are going to talk about you. There are mean people in the world, I'm sorry. And in your life, it's lollipops and candy, but when you get out here, it's not going to be lollipops, candy, and mushrooms, and peaches, and flower pots, and it's not going to be that. It's going to be people who are little, nasty looking faces at you, talking, calling you names, calling you worthless. You have to know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, how are they going to know how to treat you? You have to know who you are. And all of us have to learn that. Now, what I'm getting at here is, let's just say if Kaylee's mother did kill her. Let's just say if Casey did kill Kaylee. On what grounds did she have the right to kill her? She had her mother, she had her father that could have taken care of this baby. You have to understand, though, some people, when they have a child, it is something called postpartum depression. If it is not handled, the person will eventually continue with acts of violence or attitude changes if it is not properly taken care of. I feel like that is what happened to Casey. Casey was jealous of Kaylee because her parents loved that little girl. And she didn't want her parents around them. She did not want her parents controlling her over her own daughter. So she decided she's going to move away and do whatever she wanted and party. After a while, the parenting got a little bit too hard for her, and Casey decides that Kaylee is just too much to handle, so she starts giving her chloroform to shut her up so that Casey can do what she wants to. Instead, after doing this over and over again, just one time, it just didn't work out the way it normally did, and she ended up accidentally killing her baby. I don't feel like she did it on purpose. And I feel like she was being truthful when she said she would never hurt her. But using chloroform to shut a kid up is not the best solution. What she should have did was drop the baby off at her parents' house. And again, it's just my opinion. And being a mom is not easy. And when I say that, it has nothing to do with the kid. It has something to do with the outside world and how you train your kid and how you teach them. I teach my child openly about how the world really is, where he really came from. Things that they don't teach you in school that kids need to know. See, school preps you for the little systematic world. They don't prep you for open-minded. Keep your open minds open to everything. And I prep my son for anything and everything, and treat people and what to do in situations and how to ignore stupidity, and how not to worry about his skin complexion or how he looks. And people are going to say stupid shit that doesn't matter, because now when I hear people say names, it's just look and just be like, really, that's all you had to say? That's really, aren't you tired of this? It's going on years and years, and the wetbacks and all this crazy name nigger, and it's all just getting really boring, and it's all just getting repetitive. Why we all can't get along, I don't know. But for the children, parents, I'll tell you this and I'll tell you again. train your child. Even though people don't read the Bible tells you to train up a child in the way they should go. When they get older, they will not depart. If you're training your child how to be abusive and how to kill things and do things, then that child's going to grow up trying to kill people and do things. And society does not understand that until it's too late. And they say this child has psychological issues. There is no such thing to me as psychological issues. I'm sorry. There's no such thing. What there is a such thing is as training. Kids at the age of 3 are very impressionable. And if you show them things and you competitively do things, this child's going to pick that up repetitively and continue to do those things that he sees you do, or she see you do, and then she's going to grow up and that's what she's going to be doing. There's no such thing as a psychological disease. There's nothing wrong with anybody's mind. It is the way you are raised. It is what you were taught. It's what you see when you're a kid. It's what you look at. It is the training of the mind. There is no such thing as psychological disease. This is something that doctors make up to make excuses. When what really needs to happen, the parent needs to be brought in, and a lie detector or whatever they have needs to be given to the parent on what's been taught to the child. Because parents, we can teach all we want to. There are other people out there teaching our kids shit. And what we have to do as parents, we have to go right back around and explain to them. Instead of brushing it on the table, oh, we don't need to talk about this. You need to talk about it. You need to talk about it to have that kid thinking in the right direction. So that if someone brings this up to him, he'll already know, or she'll already know. My mom already told me, I know. Because whether you like it or not, you can show your child forever. But there's always going to be somebody that come out there and teach them something different, or tell them some bogus stuff that if you didn't make them strong enough, they'll eventually think that's what they're supposed to be doing. Which leads me to the Kendrick Jenkins story again. From what I hear, and I'm not from Chicago, like I told you, I'm from North Carolina. Kanika was a nice person. I mean, sometimes you can look in people's eyes, and I get vibes from people, and that's just something I was born with. I get a vibe, and it's just very quick, and I know either to talk to you or to leave you alone and don't mess with you. You know, and that doesn't mean I'm afraid of you. That means I can tell what road I'll go down with you. I know if you're a good person to be around, or if you're lying, or you're full of shit. And I'm just not going to be the one that's going to sit around and wait to see what's going to happen. I'm the type of person. I'm very in tune with myself, and I know what to do and what not to do. I think before I speak, actually. And I'm teaching my son to do the same. And you guys should be teaching your kids to do the same. It's not all about the phone, video games. Sometimes you have to sit down, and those talks that you don't want to have with them, sometimes you have to sit down and have those talks. It's not going to harm anything. If anything, it'll make the situation better before the situation gets bitter. Now, looks like to me, Kanika was having a problem, struggling with what friends to actually, hang out with. And that's a problem with us when we're that age. You want to be cool. You want to hang out with the right people. Because first she was going to the movies, then all of a sudden she's going to this party, and then all of a sudden she ends up dead. Everybody wants to be on scene about her. Everybody in Chicago is Kanika's friend all of a sudden. Everybody wants to be on scene with Kanika. How about this? How about Kanika's dad? How about everybody that claims to be her friend and so this and that about her? How about you guys come forth and explain what you think happened? Even if you don't know, what do you think happened? I'm sorry, but as Kanika's friend, if I was in that room and I know I was with her and I know I've been her friend since 3rd grade, there's no way I'm going to sit back and my friend is going to just die and I'm just going to be okay with it. There's no way that in the hell that's going to happen. If that's my friend, I'm going to make sure that she gets justice. And even if I don't know something, if I have any inkling about anything, or if I have my own opinion just for being there, I'm going to express it. But it seems like to me, everybody has closed mouths. Everybody wants to be in an interview. Everybody wants to get paid for an interview, but nobody wants to tell the truth. Now, this is to let you know, Kendrick Johnson, in the Kanika Jenkins case, are two separate cases. The only significance in this case is they were both African American, and they also have video footage of them times before their death. But the significance of that is neither one of their videos show how the person actually died, but it is already deemed an accident or a freak accident. However, there is no such thing as a freak accident to me. A freak accident would mean, oh, this is just so bizarre. We just don't want to talk about it. We know what happened and we cleared up everything so that we don't have to show you guys. Or we just don't know what the fuck happened. And we're going to call it a bizarre freak accident because it was bizarre. That's not an accident. That's I don't know. Or that's I'm covering something up. An accident is an accident. And if it's an accident, then there would be video of him accidentally falling into something, trying to get a shoe. Or it would be Kanika accidentally walking into that freezer because they have all this video of her all these hours walking down the hallway. Why? All of a sudden, when it's time to get the camera off the top of the freezer, oh, the camera is not was on that night. But all the rest of the cameras was working. That is so lame to me. And I know that something's up with this story. Look at how Kanika looked on her pictures. Listen to what her mother said. You know, and y'all keep talking about Kanika's mom. Kanika's mom does not have shit to do with what the fuck happened to her in the Plaza Hotel, okay? In the Rosemont. She has nothing to do with that. Any after effect? Yeah. But what happened to her? No. What I will tell you, her mother did a damn good job, except for one thing. Number one, if I asked you for some video footage, and I know you haven't, you didn't give it to me, hell is going to be breaking loose, honey. That is my child. And if it was yours, you would want it. So it won't gonna be no backing up, no goddamn, I'm gonna wait for the police because you calling them on me. No, bitch. My child was here. We got a real big issue, bitch. That's me. I don't care how I feel about what I'm saying right now, but that's me as a mother. That means if you hear my mouth right now, then that means you know I don't play. You can look at me and tell I don't play about my kid. I have one child, and if anything happens to him, best believe I'm not going to be innocent, and I'm not going to be nice. Not going to be nice on the news, saying they need to put me up there. I'm not going to be nice to you if he was around you at the time. I'm not going to be nice to nobody until I find out what really fucking happened to my kid. No, it's not going to die down. No, that all hell is going to break loose. And that's just how I can put it. I'm a very open-minded person. I have no, and I give no, about how the world perceives me or how the world thinks I'm supposed to be. As a mother, you have to be open and you have to be able to know your child. You have to be able to listen to them. If you do not give them the chance to talk to you, when they get older, they will not talk to you because they already know how you're going to be. You're supposed to be a certain way. That's not how we were meant to be. Now, grant you, there are certain things that we are not supposed to do. Grant that. I will grant that. But granted again, some things are just not right. And I'm going to tell you, society today has its way of what we're supposed to be. Society doesn't understand, or they fail to want to understand, that we were made out of the likeness of someone. Everyone is not the same. Everyone does not think the same. And everyone is not going to do the same. You're going to have people who don't want to go to work, who feel like they need a quicker way of making money. They need a quicker way of getting ahead. And they are impatient. That's what that means. So instead of society making it where everybody is comfortable, society makes it where there is crime, where people kill. But then they blame a certain ethnicity of groups. The minority is always blamed for killings when the same thing is happening with Caucasian people. So you have Spanish, African American, you have Spanish, you have Latino, you have Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, you have all types of people. You can't blame anybody because killing is happening in each and every culture, each and every way of life. Everybody believes in different things. How do you know this is not a part of this person's religion? Everybody believes differently. And people are not going to talk to you if you're going to clown them and you're not going to listen to them. Kendrick Lamar's mother buried him, not knowing that someone had taken his organ, and the funeral home says they don't know what happened. How are you a funeral home and you don't know if someone's organs were taken before you got them? That sounds like bullshit to me. It sounds like some people were in groups together and they separated the organs beneath between each other and they sold them. And nobody's gonna tell on anybody. But then someone pops up and says, oh, I had to get rid of the organs because they were so damaged. Honey, he was damaged. What you had to get rid of his organs for? He was damaged. All you had to do was take a bandage and wrap his ass up and put him in his suit the way his mother and father asked you to. You can even do that. Let alone knowing that this little boy died at the hands of some stupid ass at the school. And then the school is supposed to protect our kids, and they're allowing shit to happen. And then then the police allows the school to send in whatever they feel like to send in. Don't you think that was fucked up? Do you feel like the school should have a right to send in whatever the fuck they want over a murder investigation? Because it wasn't a freak accident. Come on, man. Come on. Everybody knows that wasn't a freak accident. And now you guys are giving his mother and father a hard time. Just a hard damn time. Instead of sitting there trying to help, y'all want to fucking act stupid. Now, like I said, the significance of the Kenneka Jenkins and the Kendrick Lamar case is they both have video. All this video, but no video of them actually getting hurt or an accident, because it wasn't an accident. And so people stop saying it was an accident. It's not. And all these people who are lying and telling lies, when you die, whatever lie you told, whatever you were in, know that this is not your last stop. And I hope you get it right for the end. This is not your last stop, honey. So just know that you're not getting away with anything. It's just on pause for right now. And I'm very disappointed because Adrian was only 7 years old, did not get to even experience life, not to be able to make his own decisions, not to be able to fuck up in life, not to be able to get him a girlfriend and cry to somebody about breaking up with her or having kids of his own and treating them right. Someone snuffed the life out of him because they were too sorry to go and have him adopted or give themselves a break from him for a while. His grandmother's on TV all the time telling people, I was trying to get to my grandkids. However, I was not allowed to see them. I tried to talk to social services, to get social services, to go check on my grandchild. Did they do that? No, because social services is sorry as hell. But if you call them, they'll come running. But if someone else calls and says there's a problem, oh, they pretend like they don't know what the fuck is going on.